Hello my reptilian friends, I'm Azalea and today we're carrying on with some more Heart of the Woods. Now, I didn't upload anything last week. Some stuff was going on, some personal stuff, so I wasn't able to get myself to actually do any of the work for the recordings. But that's fine, I'm gonna try and do my best to actually record the stuff now. So yeah, without further ado, let's just jump right back into it. I don't say a word on the way back to the cabin. How can I? But you vocalize the knowledge that your core understanding of the world just turned out to be wrong. It feels like the ground beneath my feet dropped out from under me. My steps are unsteady and I feel nausea come up like waves. My head pounds hard. Always prided myself on my healthy skepticism, but I can't deny what's right in front of me. My thoughts scramble to find some way to explain it. Some way that I can piece it together in a way I can understand. But it's hopeless. Tara is still stuck mute. I'd expect her to be bouncing off the walls, to be unable to calm down. After all, this is what she's been after for years. Ever since we started the show. Ever since she first had the idea for the show. Now that we've finally actually found something, neither of us know how to react. She keeps playing the short clip she recorded over and over again, watching it until the battery runs dry. A lot of it is unusable due to the snow and her shaky hands. But there are still a few seconds of clear, uninterrupted footage. The ratings are going to go off the charts. We're going to have to prepare for endless barrages of questions and accusations of doctoring the footage. This will mean interviews, national news, maybe even a book deal. Nothing will ever be the same again. But all we can manage is silence. Morgan's the only one who seems somewhat calm. Though even she's a bit shaken. She's the one who coaxes us to leave the church and start heading back to town. It's the obvious thing to do, yet somehow the suggestion sounds like a crazy idea that I would have never come up with myself. All of my thoughts are mush. If it weren't for Morgan, I'm sure Tara and I would both end up wandering the woods in total shock. I can barely manage a slow stumble as I follow from way behind. Thick, fresh snow impedes the path. The blizzard subsided, but the harsh winds bite at my exposed skin. It all feels like too much. Maddie, are you okay? It takes me a few seconds to even register her voice, and a few more to realize she's looking back at me with genuine concern. Yeah, I'm fine. My brain screams to ask for help. My body feels moments away from collapsing. But what kind of help could she give me? I can only focus on reaching our destination. Morgan looks like she wants to respond, but instead resumes her trek forward, this time moving at a somewhat slower pace. After a while, the faintest light in the distance comes into view, the cabin. Our light, our refuge in the dark. Tara's pace quickens to a near sprint, but she had been waiting for this moment. She rushes and crosses the distance, disappearing inside. Morgan walks alongside me. She opens the door, following inside behind me. I feel a sudden pang of guilt over how much I've disregarded her before now. Especially since she was actually right. As soon as I reach the couch, my legs give out from under me and I fall onto it like a ton of bricks. It isn't until I hit the cushions that I realize I nearly crushed Tara, who was already collapsed next to me. Sorry. She doesn't say anything. She might not have noticed. I thought that getting back to the cabin in safety would renew her enthusiasm. She should be running in circles around me, screaming, "I told you so." Everything about her whole existence has just been validated. But she's just looking down at the ground without saying a word. The bangs obscure her eyes, making her face unreadable. Her chest rises and falls in an odd rhythm. Then I realize that, just like me, she's still trembling. The monster's silhouette flashes through my head again, huge and terrifying, the red light shining down to the very center of my being. "Here, this will help." She sets 2 glasses of water down on the table in front of us. I didn't even register her coming over here. Tara clears her throat and leans forward. "Thanks. Seriously." They're the first 2 words that she's spoken in what feels like hours. She manages a small sip, but most of it dribbles down her shirt. I don't even reach for my glass, knowing that my hands are just as shaky, if not more. My entire worldview was shattered. It's going to take more than just a walk in the snow and a glass of tap water for everything to sink in. How are you not freaking out? Have you seen that thing before? No, that was my first time as well. She doesn't answer the other part of my question. Tara continues to slowly drink her glass of water, while mine remains untouched. At some point, Morgan goes into the kitchen and prepares a pot of coffee. I can hear her rummage around in the fridge, and smell the coffee as it brews, but neither register beyond a cursory awareness. What does get my attention is when she sets 2 steaming mugs down in front of us, hot coffee sloshing over onto her hands. "Drink this. It'll help." Do as I'm told, lapping at the brew since it's too hot to sip. Tara does the same. Morgan sits beside her on the couch, draining her own mug much faster than we do as she gazes out the window. By the time I'm about halfway through my own, I do feel a bit better. Whether that's because of the warmth, the caffeine, or just the placebo effect, I'm not sure. Once we're finished, we just lapse back into preoccupied silence. Yet again, it's Morgan who breaks it. "I think the 2 of you should take some time to relax. I need to get home soon too, before I arouse too much suspicion. Does that work for you?" I look to Tara, who doesn't seem to have even heard what Morgan said. "Yeah, sounds fine." The more I think about it, the more appealing it sounds. Right now, I want nothing more than to curl up in my bed, cocoon myself in blankets, and sleep for a while. "Okay, I'll see you later then." Never one for long goodbyes. Morgan heads straight for the door. "I'll message you soon." She leaves before either of us can respond. We sit and sit. I don't know for how long, longer than I've ever seen Tara sit still. I just don't know what else to do. As much as I'd like to, I know we can't just sit here forever. The knowledge that we'll soon have to return to mundane, everyday things feels unreal. We just witnessed something magical and life-changing. How could we just go back to normal life? But I know that in truth, the world hasn't changed at all, just our knowledge of it. No matter how long we wait, the outside world will continue to pass us by. It feels like an eternity passes, but Tara's voice breaks through the silence. I'm not sure if I fell asleep or not, but I react with a start. My heart beats 100 miles per hour. "So, what do you think?" About about which part. There's a lot to take in. Yeah. About all of it. Or any of it. While she sits, she idly pulls on a loose thread from a blanket close by. She pulls and pulls, and it unravels even further. I don't think she notices she's doing it. I think the main thing is that I wonder what else is out there now. Not just in the forest, but in the whole world. Are there more of those things? Or is it the only one of its kind? And how did no one ever see it before? There's just so much that I don't know how or what to feel. What about you? Again, she shrugs. The same, pretty much. There's no way you're not gonna get that BooTube award now, you know? It's a surefire joke. It should be an easy smile, but she doesn't react at all. Probably not. Think I'm gonna crash. Good night, Mads. Just like Morgan, she gets up and leaves without even giving me time to reply. It's barely 5 seconds between her saying it and her bedroom door slamming shut behind her. It's not at all the kind of response I'd expect from Tara. These are far from normal circumstances. All that I can do now is wait. For her or for Morgan. Wait and wonder. After a late night spent researching, I awaken around 11 in the morning, a good 2 or 3 hours later than I usually get up. I get dressed in a hurry, not wanting to keep Tara waiting before we head into town. It would be a pretty ironic twist though, since usually I'm the one who has to wait for her to get ready after late nights. I have a sheaf of notes that I took, and a hand cramp to match. I'm not sure how useful all of it will be, but at least it's a starting point. Tara's good at seeing the hidden connections and putting pieces together too. It makes for entertaining videos, even without results. Out in the living room, a lukewarm pot of coffee and a used mug are the only indication that she's awake. Hey, I'm up now. Slept in a little. I'll be ready to go in a sec. I call out from the kitchen, preparing my own cup of coffee. She doesn't respond. I wonder if she can't hear me with the door closed. I go and knock on the door, being careful not to spill any coffee on myself. No response. I knock again, louder. Most likely she has her headphones in. That or she fell back asleep. You ready? I'm good to go. I have a bunch of notes and research too. Maybe we could go over some of it with Morgan. Silence. She's not that heavy of a sleeper. I knock again, even harder, but she still doesn't answer. Jiggle the doorknob a little bit. It turns easily. I open the door slowly, giving her ample time to yell and interrupt me. But she doesn't. The room is empty. She left without me. I let go of my carefully arranged papers, suddenly not really caring that much about them as they flutter to the floor. My hand shakes, hot enough for coffee to spill out of the mug and staining the pages below. So that's how it is. Whatever it is. I swallow the lump in my throat, forcing myself to not overreact. Maybe she tried to wake me up and I slept through it. Or maybe she just went out for a walk and will be back soon, so that we can go into town. There are 100 different benign scenarios for what could have happened, but in my heart, I know that she ditched me, plain and simple. I go to the sink and dump out the coffee, my appetite suddenly gone. Then I pick up the papers that I dropped. Few are ruined beyond legibility from the coffee, but it's not like anyone will miss them. I throw them in the trash, along with the sodden paper towels that I used to clean up the spill. gather the rest of the papers into a pile and leave them on the kitchen counter. Throwing them away feels like a waste, but I don't really want to look at them right now. I retreat back to my room and slam the door, even though there's no one around to hear it. I put on a film at random, background noise more than anything. My thoughts start to wander before the opening credits are even finished. What exactly was it that I did that upset Tara so much? Before Morgan took us to the church, things were fine between us, if not a bit tense. But I was working on my attitude, and she didn't seem bothered. Since seeing the monster, both of us have said so little. So I'm just left wondering what I did wrong. I wish that she would talk to me, and at least help me understand. I'm about 15 minutes into the film before I realize that I have the French audio track playing, without subtitles, and that I haven't understood a word of it. I close my laptop and stare blankly at the wall, since that's the only thing I can do and not mess up right now. It isn't long before I hear the crunching of 2 pairs of footsteps outside, as well as the low murmur of conversation. The front door bursts open. From my room, I can hear the din of Tara entering. Gotta be related to the stuff in the journals. There's no way they're not talking about the same thing. Just send all those pics to my email address when you can. This is gonna be so frickin' good. Sure thing. I sit paralyzed in my bed. Should I ignore them? Go out and act like nothing's out of the ordinary? Part of me wants to just hide in my room. But the way Tara and I have always gotten over our arguments is by being open about our issues. Plus, Tara would know that I'm at the cabin, so if she brought Morgan back here, I doubt she's trying to avoid me. Maybe they came back specifically to include me. Hoping for the best, I head out into the living room. Tara's brewing a pot of coffee, while Morgan leans against the counter. A few books that she must have brought from home are stacked beside her. She glances up as I enter. Hey, Maddie. Hey there. Tara nods without facing me. What are the books? I nod at the stack. Tara sets 2 cups of coffee in front of her and Morgan, and slides the book towards herself. They're the journals she mentioned on the walk to the church. She was letting me take a look at them. She puts emphasis on the word me, like she's the only one who's allowed to. Maybe that's the case. This isn't off to a great start. I see you've picked up a coffee habit too, huh? Morgan's really rubbed off on you. Yeah. She turns to face Morgan, being sure to exclude me from what she says. Okay, we can chill in my room. Might want to grab one of the spare chairs from out here. Oh, okay. It's a small consolation, but I can tell that even Morgan feels a little uncomfortable with the situation. She gives me a sympathetic look, but doesn't say anything. Just why is Tara acting like this? If she would just tell me, we could work it out. I stick out an arm, halting Morgan as she carries the chair across the cabin. Tara, can I talk to you for a sec? The 2 of them exchange a look, but I can't tell what it's supposed to mean, and she shrugs. I gesture towards my room and she follows me in. I shut the door. Can you please, tell me why you're mad at me? I'm not mad at you. I scoff. Whatever you want to call it, why are you treating me like this? Like what? I can already feel myself starting to get angry, but I try to keep it under control. Please don't play dumb like that. You barely talked to me for 3 days. You ditched me this morning. Now you're going out of your way to exclude me. I don't know how to interpret that as anything other than mad. I have no idea what I said or did to piss you off, so I don't even know what to apologize for. Tara runs a hand through her hair and looks around my room. It's the first time she's been in here since we arrived in Eisenfeld. It's more or less a carbon copy of hers, so I don't know what's so interesting about it. I'm not mad. I'm just not wasting your time with this stuff anymore. I can take it from here. I'm not quite sure I heard her right. Sorry, what? I said I can take it from here. Take what, exactly? The vid. I mean, you're quitting anyway, so I've got to learn how to do all of this on my own, right? But that's not... I don't even know what to say to that. Why not ask me at least, or even tell me? That's so screwed up. How do you figure? Every day since we got here, you've talked about, or at least shown, how you don't want to be here. You even said it yourself. You had to make an effort to be less bitchy whenever we go out. So now there's a solid lead. I can figure out the rest of it myself. Or at least with Morgan's help. If you want, I can buy you an early train ticket home or something. Next one should be coming through in a day or two. You don't have to keep pretending to care. The whole time, the tone never changes. It's flat and emotionless. I wonder if that's another result of Morgan's influence. I wait, expecting there to be more, hoping that there's more. There isn't. I stand there, dumbfounded. Tara shrugs again, and then leaves, closing my bedroom door behind her. Okay, sorry about that. Let's get those journals. I can still hear her talking to Morgan through the wall, bright and chipper. My legs feel weak all of a sudden, and I collapse onto my bed. Through everything, my own misgivings and concerns about my future, choosing to quit the show and telling Tara about it, and even witnessing that monster at the church, I've managed to keep my composure. But for the first time, and I don't know how long, I can't stop it any longer. I cry. All of this feels so unfair. Of course I didn't want to be here. It's been a waste of time every single other time. I get it. I was the skeptic, the non-believer, only humoring her in all her exploits and playing as her foil. I rained on her parade constantly. And now, after everything that's happened, she was right. I can't deny that. But why does that mean I don't deserve to be involved with it now? Maybe she took my leaving personally, even though I swore that wasn't the case. I was only doing what was right for me. I needed to move on and do something with my life. So is it really my fault that meant I had to stop playing around with paranormal stuff? After these past couple days, I was even starting to reconsider that. Maybe staying on the show wouldn't be so bad. Once the episode goes live, everything will be changing. But now I don't feel like that's an option. Like she'd even want me there anymore. I feel like everything in my life has changed in just a few short days. Like I'm lost at sea without anything to hold on to. My best friend in the whole world is at the epicenter of it all. And I'm thousands of miles from home. Through the walls, I can faintly hear the sound of Morgan and Tara discussing whatever it is. Not nearly loud enough for me to make out any words, but enough to be reminded of my exclusion. I wonder if Tara knows how upset I am, or if she expected me to be grateful. Neither would surprise me. I cry until my eyes are dry and sore, but I don't feel any better. The walls of my bedroom feel claustrophobic, and the vague sound of Tara talking is insufferable. I hurriedly bundle up and slip out of my bedroom and out the cabin to get some fresh air. The cold is just barely more manageable today, but it's still preferable to the atmosphere inside. It stings my wet cheeks, burning reminders of my unhappiness. pick a direction at random and start heading into the forest. As long as I don't make any twists or turns, and just go in a straight line, I won't be able to get lost. After what I've seen, the woods feel especially hostile now. I wonder what else could be lurking in the shadows or farther among the trees. Countless possibilities that I'd never considered are suddenly plausible. But for once, I don't hesitate. I just walk, my feet automatically stepping over roots and other forest debris. Underfoot, the snow is slushy and messy. My head feels the same. My head hurts. Everything hurts. My nose burns from crying, the cold only exacerbating the effect. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to say? I just feel lost. I reflect on the show, and on the years I've spent with Tara, and wonder how it all came to this. The show had been her idea, of course, but I was the one who encouraged her to go through with it. She'd always had a flair for the dramatic. Whether it was the school play, her old blog, or even the over-the-top fanfic she used to write. I've always been there to support her, whatever it was. I'd go over her lines with her and help her rehearse, or even edit her fics. When she first had the idea for Paranormal and combining her two biggest interests, cryptids and herself, I was the only person who said she should go for it. I even came up with the name, which I'm still pretty proud of. At first, I thought it would just be another entry in a long list of harebrained ideas that Tara would start and quickly lose interest in. I gave it 2, maybe 3 episodes tops before she got bored, but the reception was good, and the views started coming in. So did the ad revenue and the sponsorships. What had started as a weekend hobby turned into a weekend responsibility, and then into a day job. My role went from holding a cheap camera and stitching together the footage to actually learning proper video editing and investing in decent equipment. It seemed only natural that I'd be the one to handle all of the invites, fan mails, inquiries, and more. The professional side of things. I put my life on hold for the show, quit college halfway through my film studies degree, and moved out of my cheap student housing. I gave up my barista job and the store manager promotion I'd been hoping for. I dropped everything in order to help Tara make the best show possible. Sure, it wasn't like I had it rough. Tara's always split the royalties with me, and pays for the expenses herself. The two of us have done pretty well for ourselves, better than we had any right to expect. But at the end of the day, it was still always about Tara. Her name in the title, her name on the contracts, her name in the fan mail. Tara, Tara, Tara. And when it's all over, when the final episode someday goes up and she moves on, she'll be the one to take that name with her anywhere. That success, that popularity. And all I'll have is the memory. The more I dwell on it, the more unfair Tara's behavior seems. I can feel anger overcoming my sadness. How could she say I'm only pretending to care? I gave up years of my life for her, and dedicated them to making her look good. Without me, she'd never have been able to balance running the business side of the show while actually making it. Hell, she's not even close to being tech savvy enough to do what I do. Part of me wants to spin around right now and go back to the cabin and demand an apology. But I know how that would go. She'd just get defensive. And even if she did say she's sorry, she wouldn't mean it. It wouldn't actually fix anything. We'd just be back to where we started when we first got to Eisenfeld. Awkward and tense. There isn't really a good solution that I can think of. But I have to do or say something. I can't just leave things as they are. Her offer for an early trip home lingers in my mind. I'm sure she'd make good on that promise. It sounds pretty tempting too. In less than 3 days, I could be comfortable, warm, and back in my own bed. I'd never have to think about Morgan or Eisenfeld or forest spirits or weird churches or floating lights again. I could just move on with my life, the same way I'd been planning to once I got home anyway. As I think that, though, I know it's not really an option. I'd never be able to live with myself if I let it all go unresolved. Two piercing red eyes shine in my memory, and I know that there's no way I'd be able to forget about them. Remembering the monster makes me stop and take stock of my surroundings. I've been walking at a pretty good rate, unhindered by the weather and fueled by my bad mood. There's a small clearing just up ahead, and it looks like it might be a good spot to take a short break. It's not very big, I realize when I reach it. I could toss a stone from one side to the other. It doesn't feel as stifling as the rest of the forest, though. I clear my throat. It's the only noise I can hear. The sounds of the village don't travel this far. They barely reach the cabin, for the most part. Overhead, the sky is a crystal clear blue for the first time that I can remember. It's still freezing, but it isn't cloudy. Not even an airplane or vapor trail disturb the tranquility. I rub my eyes and defog my glasses. I must look like a real mess out here. I do feel a little bit better, though. The fresh air alone has helped to clear my head. The snow underfoot is well trampled from my stomping around, and mud mixes with the slush to form a thin paste that sticks to my boots. There was somewhere to sit down. This place would be perfect. I make do of leaning against a tree that's mostly dry. I'll need to remember how I got here. It would be nice to have a place of my own to retreat to when I need it, away from the other two. Just as I'm enjoying the tranquility, there's a rustling sound overhead, and I look up just in time to get a face full of snow as it slides off a branch. Perfect timing. I cough and splutter, wiping away as much of it as I can, though a lot of it still falls into my clothes. I flap my jacket like wings, trying to knock it out. Right then, from the corner of my eye, a quick motion catches my attention. It's gone too fast for me to notice more than a glimpse of fabric, and I turn around to see who it was. But there's nothing there, and no sign of anything having been there. Heart pounding, I walk over in the direction it came from, looking for footprints or something. There's nothing. I rub my eyes. Maybe it was the snow messing with my vision. The harsh, unmistakable sound of a branch breaking cracks behind me. I spin around, expecting to see Tara there with a dumb smile on her face for having spooked me. But again, there's nothing. I pull my coat tighter around myself and press my back against a tree. Hello? Is someone there? My voice resounds through the clearing but goes unanswered. In the middle of the clearing, a mysterious woman appears for just a moment. She has long pink hair and a lavender nightgown. Despite the snow, she's barefoot. Again, a flash of movement from the corner of my eye. This time I'm sure I see it. A glimpse of purple darting behind a tree. I start towards it, hand reaching, but without a clear plan in mind. Just like a dog chasing cars. I don't know what I'll actually do if I catch it. I walk into the middle of the clearing, turning a slow circle, hoping to spot whatever it was. Can you hear me? Hello? It already knows I'm here. There's no point in trying to hide. Snow crunches off to my left and I pivot, just in time to see a girl disappear behind yet another tree. Hey, wait! I may as well not be saying anything for all the effect it seems to have. I hurry to the tree where I saw her, but she's gone. I'm just running in circles, chasing after who knows what. My head beats like a kick drum. A million possibilities race through my head, each more fantastical than the last. Maybe she's from the village. Maybe I imagined her. Maybe she's another forest spirit. Maybe she's the same forest spirit we saw before in a different form. Any of them could be true. I've seen now that nothing is impossible. I look all around, searching for a clue and finding nothing. This is a bad idea, I know. Every single fairy tale I've ever read warned that this is a bad idea. Chasing after mysterious girls in the woods never ends well. She could be luring me to her secret lair, or could even be a disguise for some kind of terrible monster. Maybe it's the forest spirit, come to exact revenge for trespassing in its territory. I should turn and run, and race back to the cabin. If I told Tara and Morgan, I'm sure this is the kind of thing that would override Tara's annoyance, at least for now. It could be our chance to patch things up, pursuing some new mystery. Or I could not tell Tara, and I could solve the mystery myself. Whatever it is. For the first time, something happened to me that doesn't involve Tara. I could keep it that way. My hand is trembling, but I reach out in the direction I last saw the girl, more as a sign of openness than anything else. Are you still there? Silence. If you can hear me, can you let me know? No response. My fingers close over empty air. This is stupid. I feel like an idiot, talking to no one. If she wanted to be caught, she would have let me, I'm sure. But then, if she didn't, what was the point of even showing herself? I'll come back tomorrow, okay? If you'll be here again. It feels desperate. It is desperate. But I can't let this chance go. Not when this could be all I have. A light breeze blows through, as if to answer. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. I stand there, hoping for another sign. As I give up and turn back towards the path home, I see it. For just a split second, a bright pink light, crystal clear and the colour of a sunset, flashes just once. It's the same as the one we chased through the forest several days ago. My breath catches in my throat. My muscles tighten, poised to follow. My common sense overrides. As much as I want to, I can't just go running off into the forest on my own. I'd probably never find my way back. I swallow. If it can understand me, like it seems to, then I'll see it tomorrow, once I've had more time to prepare. I face the direction the light came from, even though it's gone now. I'll be back tomorrow. I promise. Morgan and Tara never noticed me come home. They might not have even noticed that I left. I don't make any efforts to talk with them. I'm still too angry with Tara. Instead, I spend the rest of my day in my room, watching films or reading. All of the research that I was so eagerly working on is put aside, stuffed into a folder that's out of sight on my hard drive. I have my own project now, my own lead to explore. The thought of that light, and the mysterious girl in the woods, stays on my mind through it all. Even late into the night, I can hear that Morgan's still over, in Tara's room with her. At some point, sounds go from conversation to something else. I turn up the volume on my computer. They can do whatever they want. It's well past midnight when my eyes finally get heavy enough to sleep. The next day, I head straight to the clearing without telling anyone. Nearly 24 hours to the minute since I left it. From the thick clouds overhead, I can tell it's going to be a short trip. Still, I have to go, at least to see. My heart thumps with anticipation, and more than a little nervousness. It's an odd mix. I force myself to keep a calm demeanor and not get too worked up. It's difficult. I'm hopeful, but I don't know what for. I don't have a camera or even my cell phone. There's no way I could prove anything that happens. And it's not like there's anyone who could vouch for me, say that I saw what I saw. Now, it's important that I keep it that way. This encounter, whatever it may be, will be mine and mine alone. Arriving at the clearing, I brace myself for what I might find. Nothing's changed. I'm met with silence, as the faint sound of trees rustling in the wind, and nothing more. Hello? Are you out there? Give it a moment, waiting and hoping for a response that never comes. Maybe it really was my eyes playing tricks on me. The light could have been a reflection of the sun, and the girl could have been... There isn't a doubt left in my mind that the girl was there. There's no way I didn't see someone. Frustrated, I kick at some of the mush on the ground. It splashes up and splatters my legs. Are you there? I'm waiting. Please. I feel like a fool. I'm pleading with someone that may or may not even exist to manifest. If someone had told me a week ago that I'd be here doing this today, I'd have laughed at them. Everything about this situation is unlike me. My irritation builds up. With myself, with Tara, with the stupid ghost light, with everything. Whatever was there is gone now. And really, what kind of idiot convinces herself to come back for an imaginary date with a weird breeze? I clench my fist, looking without seeing. Slowly, I turn circles, hoping for something, anything. I trapeze back and forth at an increasingly desperate pace, not really sure what kind of clue I'm searching for, but just knowing that I can't sit still. If I sit still, then I'm giving up. And if I give up, then I really don't have anything left for me out here. The second day in a row, I feel the sting of tears in my eyes. I pinch my eyes shut to stop them. Not here. Not today. I hold my hand there and suck in a deep breath. The cold air stings my throat. I steady my breathing, fighting back the urge to cry. After a moment, once the urge has passed, I lower my hand and open my eyes. And she's there. So silently and so suddenly that it's like she was never not there. The mysterious girl stands before me, barefoot in the snow, but seemingly unfazed. She regards me with a curious look, her eyes wide, like I'm the one who's out of place. Now that she's here right in front of me, I realize that I don't know what to say. Hello? Is all I could muster. My voice comes out weaker than I expected. Her eyes go wide at my word. Her lips move, but no sound comes out. She mouths something else again, still without a voice. I can't hear you. A frown. She turns away. Have I disappointed her? Is she going to disappear again? Please don't go. I don't know why I wanted to stay. Something is clearly different. Unnatural. This isn't a normal girl. But that's exciting, in and of itself. The girl turns back around to face me again. She looks just as confused as I feel. There's a nervous sort of energy to her. Beneath the gown she's wearing, far too thin for the weather, the girl's legs are tense and ready to bolt. I take a step towards her, holding out my hand the same way I'd approach a kitten or lost puppy. My name's Madison. Can you understand me? She still looks a bit nervous, but nods. So we speak the same language. That's good. Is she from Eisenfeld? I can't imagine she's from anywhere else. There's nothing else around. You were talking, right? Just a bit ago, but I couldn't hear you. Another nod. That means that for whatever reason, her words can't reach me. Maybe she's naturally mute. Maybe her voice was magically stolen. Every idea that comes to mind is more ridiculous than the last, but I consider them all equally. To my surprise, I'm able to remain calm and, by my standards, pretty level-headed. It seems like the girl is more afraid of me than vice versa. I drop my hand down, offering a handshake. She stares at it for a moment, maybe expecting it to turn into a snake or for me to shoot magic bolts from my fingers. When neither of those happen, she gingerly, slowly reaches for my hand. It passes right through me. The fingers glide through the palm of my hand like a breeze disappearing into the air. With a sad smile, she looks down, seemingly expecting this result. Horrific realization slowly dawns on me. The same tinge of certainty that guided me out here. This girl isn't really here in the same way that I am. You're a ghost. A slow, sad nod. She looks apologetic about it, inconveniencing me with her lack of a corporeal form. I'm sorry. The words feel weak and inadequate, nearly like a non sequitur. But really, what do you say to a ghost? She shakes her head vigorously, hair flying about, trying to rid herself of some bad thought. She gives me a big smile and stretches her arms wide, turning about to gesture to the trees around us. What is it? I don't understand. The girl bites her lip, wondering how to better convey her message. Then, with a decisive nod, she points at me, and then points at the ground between us. Pausing a moment, she holds that pose, and points at the trees. In particular, the path I'd come from, and shakes her head. A flash of fear knifes its way under my skin. Is she threatening me? She definitely doesn't look like it. Something about where I came from? She nods, and then repeats the pointing. First at me, then at the ground. Me. Right here. Another nod. You're asking if I'll stay here? She nods and claps, hopping up. Except she doesn't come down. She hovers there as if suspended by invisible strings, and then slowly lowers herself back to the ground. I'm not sure if that's what she was going for, but I smile. Are you showing off? She laughs and nods, glad to be understood. I can stay for a bit, sure. If you want me to, I mean. The girl practically zooms the short distance between us, moving with what might be supernatural speed. She stands so close that her gown phases through me, uncomfortable in its lack of sensation. And she nods again, this time solemn and hopeful. I can't fight the feeling that she could easily be setting some kind of trap or leading me astray, but I still don't get that impression from her. So I agree. Okay, I'd be happy to. But I can't stay too long, or Tara will start to wonder where I am. Tara again. For the first time since we arrived, I was able to fully push her from my thoughts. I was so overwhelmed by meeting this girl that Tara didn't even register on my consciousness. But now, there she is again. She's more haunting than the ghost. The ghost in question mouths Tara's name, one of the few words I can actually lip read. The person I came here with, she's, back in the village. The girl's eyes go wide and she points in the direction of the forest, and makes a dragging motion back to where we are. This one's easy to understand. No, she's not coming here. She has no idea. For the first time, I'm glad the girl can't speak, because it means she can't ask me to elaborate. I don't want to think about Tara right now. Anyway, were you here yesterday too, watching me? A nod, wholly unapologetic. I thought so. I also thought I might be crazy though. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised by either one. She looks surprised. I wonder if she knows about the other supernatural occurrences in the forest. Maybe they're connected somehow. The other day, my friend and I were out in the forest. Nod. And suddenly, there was this huge snowstorm. Out of nowhere, we saw this giant thing. I stretched my hands to indicate just how enormous it was, but the enormity and terror of it are impossible to convey. I don't even know how to describe it. It was a monster of some kind, like a huge tree had come alive and was walking in the snow. Do you know what I'm talking about? Not only does the girl nod, but she laughs, finding something funny about my story. I'm not sure if I should be worried or not. So, you've seen it. Is it, like, evil? A firm shake of her head. That's good. It was honestly the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life. After that, we taper off into silence. Well, I do. I don't have a reason to believe her, but so far she doesn't seem threatening at all. I have a hard enough time holding up my end of a conversation under normal circumstances. This just makes it even harder. The two of us just stand there, looking at each other. Now that she's not moving around so much, I'm able to get a better look at her. She seems to be around my age, if not a bit younger. Her hair is long and slightly unruly, reaching well down her back. She reminds me a bit of Rapunzel, all alone in the forest. A cute bow midway down helps keep her hair in place. Her wide eyes are curious, but slightly sad. Still, she smiles so easily that I wonder if I'm just imagining the sorrow. As green as emeralds, her eyes kind of remind me of Morgan's. I was so taken aback by her sudden appearance and, well, ghostliness, but at first I didn't realize. She's beautiful. Her choice of attire makes a lot more sense now that I know she can't feel the cold. The gown she's wearing has a few dangling threads and scuffed spots, which I assume haven't changed since she died. I shudder, trying not to think of my own mortality. What was it like? Why is she here instead of whatever usually happens when you die? Does she know what she's missing? An afterlife or lack thereof? I have a million questions about her life and about life itself. There's so much I want to ask, but it's impossible. Plus, we've only known each other a few minutes. It feels like that would be rude to ask right away. A thick snowflake lands on my cheek, startling me. I'd pretty much forgotten about the weather. Overhead, the clouds are getting worse, and the snow is starting to fall more heavily. As much as I want to spend more time with her, I really don't want to be caught out in a blizzard a second time. I need to go back now. Will you be here again? I'd like to see you again, if you'd like that too. She nods empathetically, with a grin to match. I can't help but smile in return. It's nice to know that someone is looking forward to seeing me. Okay, I'll come back as soon as I can. I promise. Although, I'm not sure when the weather will let me do that. On the next sunny day, I'll be there, okay? She nods. Okay, I'll see you soon then. I hope. The girl waves goodbye as I turn to leave, remaining in the center of the clearing. As I get my last look at her, I know that I'm not imagining the sadness in her eyes now. I glance behind several times on the walk back, each time expecting her to have disappeared once more. But she stays there, waving, until the trees obscure her from sight. A splash of purple fabric against the brown and white of the forest. a little spark of light to look forward to. Okay, I think that is a good place to end. Thank you everyone who joined me today, and I'll catch you all next time. Bye bye.